Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the SBL Season 3. This is Week 5, and we will be taking on our boy Flair and his team, the Volcaronas from Vegas. Alright, Flair is a newcomer to the league this season. I believe he has gotten off to a 2-2 start, which, for his first season of Draft League ain't bad at all. And if you do recall Flair, he has appeared, well, his sprite has appeared on my channel before in the tourneys, and because he was hosting his own tourney at one point, but unfortunately due to technical difficulties and time constraints, that wasn't continued. But, oh well, that's just how it goes sometimes. But regardless, we're here today ready to battle up in some Draft League, and yeah, you see his team there, it looks pretty threatening. Okay, so looking at what he did bring. You see a Scizor there, we had that in SBL Season 1, it's pretty bulky, at least on the physical side. It can't really take too many special hits, especially because of that 4x weakness to ice, which is something I tried to exploit in prep. And on his team, it's actually his only Stealth Rock setter, unless his Ditto transforms into something with Stealth Rocks, so that's something to keep in mind. He's got a Feraligatr there, which is one of the league's kill leaders. I believe he's got 9 kills with it over the 4 games prior to this. Yeah, this thing's very powerful. It gets stuff like Dragon Dance, it has Sheer Force with moves to abuse that, like Liquidation, Crunch, Ice Punch, well, not so much Earthquake, or Aqua Jet, but it gets those kinds of moves. And we see Scizor there. We faced regular Scizor last week. That is a Mega Scizor this time, which is a little bit bulkier than its base counterpart, but unlike its base counterpart, it can't run any items. So yeah, there's that. Okay, there's a Cryogonal there, which is actually the first time he's brought it this season. It's pretty bulky on the special side. Its physical defense is pretty poor overall. It gets stuff like the screens, even Aurora Veil. What else does it get? It gets Freeze Dry for my Jellicent, and my Golisopod for that matter, but I didn't bring Golisopod. And yeah, Cryogonal can prove to be annoying. He's got a Furfrou there, which he's actually been using this Furfrou, pretty well this season overall. It's got some pretty good physical bulk, which is actually problematic for my Gallade, believe it or not. And yeah, Furfrou is a threat I should not sleep on. And then he's got a Ditto there. It's whatever you want it to be, really. It can transform into anything that's in front of it. And yeah, that can prove some shenanigans. Like, if I would have run setup on this team, that would have been a problem, because Ditto could have just set up and then reverse sweep me. So yeah, that's what he did bring. Let's see if I can remember what he didn't bring. He did not bring his mascot, Volcarona, which I have a Nihilego that completely shuts that down, so that's completely reasonable. He didn't bring his Primarina, which that's outsped by a lot of my teams, so I can see why he wouldn't bring that either, especially since Coco is one of those things that outspeeds. He didn't bring a Klefki, which I'm super happy about, because that thing is super annoying with screens and spikes and all that, and I don't remember if it doesn't look like I had Defog anywhere on my team, so yeah, I'm glad he didn't bring the Klefki. He didn't bring Superior, who is his Z captain, so yeah, he knows he moves all around here, because I didn't bring my Lando. Let's see, what was the last thing he didn't bring? I always forget at least one thing, but oh well, it's okay. Anyway, let's get into what I brought here. I have an Assault Vest Nihilego. Yeah, Volcarona was not killing this thing, no matter what. If I had one thing to stop a Volcarona sweep, it was that. We got Jellicent with the Culver Berry and Will-O-Wisp to be able to shut down the Feraligatr, which is pretty much its only purpose, with its only attacking move being Nightshade, which, completely walls. It's completely walled by, what's-its-face, Furfrou. We got Tapu Koko, kind of a mixed spread. I have Wild Charge on it this week for the first time because I figured, looking at his team, he has the Primarina there, which is, much more physically frail than it is specially. And I wanted to be able to make sure I kill that thing pretty easily. Moltres, I do believe I ran a Choice Scarf Moltres in this one. Yeah, just be able to outspeed some stuff. Pick off some stuff, Alright, P2 there, it's 3 attacks, pretty defensive-ish spread. Simple stuff. And I'm running a Stabless Mega Gallade. What? Yeah, I figured the stab moves on Gallade didn't really make much of a difference in this one. But oh well, let's just go ahead and see what we did. And again, Tapu Koko is my lead for this one. I figured it led pretty easily against everything. And against this Gliscor here, I had the Shuka Berry, so I figured I was free to set off an HP Ice no matter what. Now, actually seeing that Stealth Rock, I kind of think I should have let off with the Taunt, because I did have that on my Tapu Koko, because the Stealth Rocks meant, because I don't have Defog, then I couldn't really get my Moltres in as I like to, and actually, spoilers, I didn't really need to. Okay, so his Gliscor's going to switch out, obviously, because he's got a very good Ice Resist here in his Cryogonal. But then I pop the Wild Charge, and that does too much damage to him, as he sets up a Light Screen, which is actually pretty good prep on his part, I must say, because there's stuff like the Moltres and the Hiligo, Jellicent, P2. My team has a lot more special attackers in general. But yeah. So I just come off the Wild Charge here because, yeah, why wouldn't I? And then the Furfrou comes out and I just get on up out of there, as this thing proves to be annoying as I get in my Stabless Gallade, but he doesn't know I'm Stabless yet, as he gets off a Cotton Guard, which makes this thing even more annoying because there's a Light Screen up too, but I can make this a little better for myself by removing his Leftovers. And yeah, because he's so physically defensive right now with the Cotton Guard and the Light Screen up, the Light Screen's about to expire, so I figure I can get into my P2 pretty safely and get a download boost on my special attack. And yeah, I went for download this week instead of Trace because I figured, in general, his team has more things that I could get a special attack boost on. Like this Gliscor, I calced it beforehand, and even if he was max specially defensive, I would have gotten a special attack boost every time. So I figured now is as good a time as any to get in my Furfrou and start doing some shenanigans as he Thunder Waves me, which is okay because this thing's pretty slow anywho. As he Facades me, it doesn't do a lot, and Thunderbolt proves to be enough for a 2-hit KO, and he Sucker Punches me, and I figured I'd go for Ice Beam here just in case he switches into his Gliscor, and that kills. And now the Mega Scizor comes in, and it thinks it's about to set up, but no siree, HP Fire. And yeah, in case you guys couldn't tell, Flair's team is pretty setup heavy, so I figured this was a pretty safe bet for me. To be able to catch him on a setup and then ruin his life. And then the Gliscor comes back in as it roosts up, which is very smart on his part, as I believe I tried to click recover there, but I got Parahaxed, and then he gets rid of my Eviolite, which actually comes into play a little bit later on, because now that I don't have my Eviolite anymore, I'm a lot more frail in general. Well, that was the wrong word. Not a lot more frail, a lot less bulky. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And I do get off a recover here, as you can see, as he's pretty much at full HP, but and then he reveals Stone Edge, which is really cool tech on his part for my Moltres. And then I get Parahaxed again. Eventually I'm going to kill this thing with Ice Beam, which is right now. Because there's no way he was living that unless he was Yachi Berry, but he wasn't. And then the Ditto comes in, he copies me, and then he gets another download boost, but to his attack because, lol. And at this point I figure P2's done enough here, so I just kind of let him go down. And because my Nihilaga's Assault vested, like I alluded to previously, even with a special attack boost there, Ditto was not doing anything. So at that point, Nihilego was a free switch in. So I just Sludge Wave it, and then it does some damage to me, and then he paralyzes me. Now that could have been a lot worse for me in the late game. If it would have come down to like, oh, his thingy wasn't boosted up, his Gator here wasn't boosted at all. And then like, let's say, I don't know. Let's say Moltres went down or something, so I couldn't revenge it that way, or if he had Aqua Jet, that would probably kill me off the rocks. And honestly, Aqua Jet will probably kill Nihilego from this range anyway, so ignore everything I just said. Alright, so the Gator's in here as I get off another Sludge Wave, and that does a decent chunk of damage, no poison. But this was my plan all along. To get in my Jellicent, hoping he goes for a water attack, actually. Earthquake is fine too. And then he crunches me, I pop the Cobra Berry, and I burn it. Thank God I didn't miss that. And at that point, this Gator is pretty neutralized, so it's not going to be doing much of anything to me. So I figure Coco's a free get in here, and even at half HP, this crunch is not going to be doing anything. And so I get off a Volt Switch here and kill the thingy. Actually, I don't kill the thingy, so then I go into Gallade as he goes for Earthquake. And then, because he's burned, that doesn't do a lot, and then the burn takes him out, and then the Ditto comes out. And then I believe Flair actually had a Showdown Derp at this point, because he was on mobile. And he and I talked about it on Discord during this turn. And he decided to just go ahead and let the battle end off as I clicked the timer button, and he lost due to inactivity, as he said. Which is sort of a late game forfeit. I mean, during this battle, I got the impression from Flair that he was kind of pressed for time this week, and I think he kind of confirmed that to me later on. But in reality, I think Flare actually brought probably the best 6 to take on my team. It's just, I actually prepped pretty hard for this game, not gonna lie, because of Flare's team being so setup heavy, I did not want anything to set up on me and destroy me. Like you saw, even the Cotton Guard on the Furfrou, and then the Swords Dance on Scizor. You could have run Quiver Dance on Volcarona, Leaf Storm, Contrary Superior. You could have even set up some screens, which would have been annoying, and I gotta keep that in mind for the future if I ever want to run like Brick Break or something. But at the end of the day, this was just a one-off for Flare, and I hope he can come back in the future because he has shown some potential this season, even though it is his first Draft League season. So yeah, that was a 5-0 win for us here, even though we're looking at a Dillo Gallade here. That's a 5-0 win, and we're just going to take that and our 4-1 record and move on to next week, where we're going to play our boy Zappe, aka Shiny Zekrom, aka Astrapi Dracos, aka the other guy that's recording his battles. So that'll be fun, and look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time.